Hey everybody, and welcome to our second video spotlight here at motukfigures.com. Since we're doing these in order, we're going to do all three versions of King Grayskull that were available at San Diego Con before we move on to the actual classics line. You want to tell them which version we're looking at today?
Spirit version.
That's right. But before we get into that, we have a couple things we need to talk about and address here. A lot of people asked about the risers that are in my IKEA Detolf cases. These risers are available at collectingwarehouse.com. It's actually, I kind of do some work for that company, so if you guys want to buy them, that would be a good thing. But if you need help picking out which one it is, you can get to the website and give us a call or email me or whatever. The second thing is we had a viewer ask a couple questions of Blaze. Gorn, I think it's Gorn Shadow versus Spock Eyes. It's a very weird name.
Yeah.
But a couple questions for you, Blaze. First, he wanted to know if King Grayskull had a cat, like Battle Cat.
Yes, he did.
Succinct. And the second question was, if you could pick an extra weapon for King Grayskull that he didn't come with, what would you pick?
The 2000s don't sound the classics because I am not a big fan of the classics. I like 2000s way better. The kind that comes with man-at-arms that looks like that.
Well, hang on. When you say you're a bigger fan of the 2000s, you mean just the sword, not the whole 2000s cartoon and all that stuff.
No,
yeah, because you like the Filmation cartoon better.
Yeah, way better.
And you know what's funny about this is a lot of us as older fans, we complain about the Techno Sword and we're like, oh, it looks, no, you don't need a Techno Sword. But they did a lot of testing with kids, and he was their target audience, and he actually does prefer the Techno Sword. So, there you go. But now, onto the figures. So, the Spirit of Grayskull was a unlimited thing by Mattel. They did two of them that were available to the public. One that was through a charity auction, Dream Halloween, I think it was. And the other one was available at San Diego Con through a raffle, which my friend actually won. And so I've seen the real thing a couple times now. But the version that I have is not the real deal, but it's as close as you can get. My friend Steve at Plastique Realm made this for me, and he did a fantastic job of making this Spirit version. So we're going to take a closer look at the figure, and then we'll talk about it after that. Alright, here's your closer look at the Spirit of Grayskull custom version. Alright, he includes three accessories, the same as every other King Grayskull San Diego figure. You've got the clear blue power sword, the clear blue axe, and the clear blue shield. He's got the cape, the armor. It's everything you could imagine in your regular King Grayskull, but done in a light blue, clear Spirit plastic. So there he is. Yeah, it's the same mold that we saw before. They used the same mold for all three versions of King Grayskull, obviously. So it's got the same kind of stance and the differences. Like, but with this version, of course, we're addressing a custom version, so we don't know what kind of plastic. I've never reached inside the box of my friends and wiggled on it and stuff like that. But, I mean, he did a fantastic job, and I would assume it would be the same kind of plastic that was used for this. It's sort of softer. Like, the loincloth especially can, like, move a little more, but it's not as, like, rigid as say, the first version, King Grayskull. What do you think about a Spirit figure? You think it's a cool thing?
I like it a lot. Your friend did a really good job on it, and I have a question about the sword.
Yeah.
Is that the same sword they used for the real live version? Is that the same sword, or did they use a different sword, or is that the classic sword?
This is the classic sword. Yeah, they use the same. Steve did all the things exactly like the regular version. See, these are all the same. These are the same weapons that came with the original version, but they're casted in blue, clear blue plastic, so it looks like Spirit version.
To say about this. Well, I have that sword for my He-Man, but my brother has the 2000 sword, so I've seen it and I like it better.
Well, there you go. Yeah, he's got a little brother. We've got Keaton, and he's got Man-at-Arms, so he's got the 2000 sword, and they both got the DC versus Motu He-Mans, so he sticks that sword with his He-Man. But we're getting off on a tangent again. Yeah. I like the idea of a Spirit version figure, but you know, it's not something you have to have in your collection. It's cool that it was a giveaway. It's cool that Steve's doing customs for people that need them. Yeah. But it's also something you don't have to have in your collection. Yeah. It's only if you're like crazy, like we are, that you have to have one. But he's a great figure. Really cool on a shelf. Really cool with light coming through him.
Yeah.
But again,
you don't need him.
Exactly. If you had the choice between this figure and say Trapjaw, what would you think?
Definitely.
Exactly. You need Trapjaw in your collection.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a Spirit of Grayskull, but it is cool.
He's only in the 2000s. Trapjaw's in all the versions except the New Adventures.
Exactly. You get Trapjaw is in everything.
Except
King
the New
Grayskull's only in
Adventures.
2000s. Exactly. We should the packaging was the same on this as it was the other two King Grayskulls, so it's got the big fold-out thing. It's got the same bio. Now, the last time when we looked at the bio, we did it on a poster board, and I thought it was kind of neat, but at the same time, it got darker on the screen, and you couldn't really make anything out. So I'm doing we're gonna do digital timelines, and we'll break it up between Preternia and current day and things like that, and we'll just see where things fit in. We may not show the whole timeline every time because it's gonna get so long, but we'll kind of break down where stuff fits in. So we're gonna take a look at how the King Grayskull bio fits into this timeline. Okay, we learned two essential points for our timeline here in this bio. First, we learned that King Grayskull defended Eternia from evil alongside Hero against both Hordak and King Hiss. We know this happened 5,000 years ago by the newly revised timeline that Toy Guru has posted. So everything that said 500 years before now says 5,000 years. We also learned that at some point in time, Grayskull falls to Hordak's magic. So those are the 2 points that we're going to post on our timeline this time around. So that's how he fits in. 5,000 years. Glad he altered that because 500 years would have been way too close to He-Man time.
Yeah, before Adam was born.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our closing thoughts on. Do you have any closing thoughts on Spirit of Grayskull?
Not really.
Not really. I think he's an awesome figure. I think Steve did a great job.
Well,
Spirit of Grayskull.
I think I might have one.
Yeah.
Is Vicor related to him?
Is Vicor related to King Grayskull?
Yes.
That's a good question. I guess we'll tackle that when we get to Vicor. Because we'll have to break down his bio and we'll talk about it a little more where Vicor comes from.
Okay, cool.
Okay? Alright, so until next time, good journey.
We will have bronze next time.
That's right. And you gotta say good journey.
Good journey.
See you guys.
Hopefully you find Eternia if you're an astronaut.
Alright, see ya.